kind of getting into game week again, you never want to go into an open day with that bitter pit of a loss in your stomach, but at the same point, going through this last week, I think has really been productive for us. We've had an opportunity to sit down and really evaluate ourselves, really to kind of self-scout ourselves through the first 5 games and where we are. And offensively, there's some things we've done really well, but there's obviously some things that we can continue to improve on from a consistency standpoint. You look at how well we were playing early, and then it's kind of tapered off a little bit with last week, and some things that we have to look at and some things we have to get better at. Defensively, I think we've got to do a better job of stopping the run, especially this week with the challenges we have with Connecticut. We're last in the league right now in rush defense, and that's something that we've got to look at hard, and not only what we're doing, but what we need to do this week, because we're going against a team that's what they do. They specialize in running the football. And then in our special teams, the numbers are bad. I mean, when you look at it, where our national rank is across the board, we're not where we want to be. When you look at the progression during the season, I think we're getting better. We're close. I've talked to a couple of you during the open date about some of the return games. Obviously, losing Terrence Mitchell hurt us a little bit in punt return. But Lindsey Lamar is a guy that we have to get started. We have to get Lindsey started. We've looked at things, what we need to do on kickoff return, and I feel like we're getting closer. We've made some personnel changes there. We're making progress. We're going in the right direction from a special team standpoint. I wish we would kick the ball a little bit more consistently than we have, but we've got to continue to work on that to get better. And then it's been a back to basics type of week. We went back to camp mode, back to a spring practice mode where we went against each other, a lot of team. We went 170 plays, 150 plays, and I think 175 plays against each other in the 3 days last week when we went in pads. It was a physical week when we got after it, but I feel like we made some progress and we're getting better. And we talked early about getting rid of that depth from our 1s to our 2s. And I think we're definitely moving in the right direction as far as that's concerned. Injury-wise, coming out of last week, Terrence Mitchell was still not practicing with us with the concussion. Right now, very unlikely that he would be back this week. We're certainly not counting on it. We just have to wait and see how that comes along. He is getting better. He is making progress. He's going to start being able to work out this week in the weight room, cardio. But he's doing well. But he's certainly not in a position where he's cleared to play yet. And then Demi Thompson's back continues to flare up, and Derek Hopkins turned an ankle last week, and so those 3 right now will probably be out. But Q Washington, AJ Love, guys that were held last week because of injuries, are full strength. They practiced Sunday night and should be full to go. So I expect from an injury standpoint, we should be relatively healthy to be this far along during the season. We have a challenge this week in Connecticut. I think Connecticut is it's a misleading team. You look at them, they're 2-4. They lose 1 game by 3 points, 1 game by 4 points, 1 game by 6 points on the last play of the game. They've been in every football game. Even last week with West Virginia, it was 10-9, probably similar to our Pitt game. Got a little away from them a little bit at halftime and started reeling south. But you have to also remember this Connecticut team was 0-2 last year before they went on their run to go win the conference and represent the Big East in a BCS bowl bid. So this is a very strong football team, and I'm saying strong in that I think they're really talented with what they do. Paul Pasqualoni is a great football coach. Obviously, he's won where he's been. But this football team, when I say strong, they're really physical. They run the ball. They stop the run. They play great special teams. It's kind of old school smash mouth Big Ten type of football with how they do it. And I think it all fits when you look at how they run their program right now. And I say fits. They control the ball. They're one of the leading teams controlling the ball in this league because they run it. They make first downs. They control the ball and move the chains. Defensively, they have the 6th best rush defense in the entire country. They're 2nd in our league behind Cincinnati, only giving up 70 yards a game. And it's 2 things. It's scheme and it's also talent. And then they play great special teams. They have the best kickoff guy in the league, one of the best in the country. Obviously, they have one of the best kickers in the country. He kicked 2 51, 52-yarders against us last year, kicked a 53-yarder last week against West Virginia. They play great special teams, hard-nosed defense, and they run the ball and control the clock on offense. It makes it very difficult to turn and get a lead on them. They're a very talented football team. You look at them on offense, they have a very talented running back. He's 2nd in the league. He's averaging 100 yards a game. They have The two Moores, who are very talented wide receivers. Griffin, the tight end, is catching the ball for a lot of yards, and they're real big up front on their offensive line. They have a strong tight end who is very athletic. He led him in catches last week. Again, that tight end who controls the ball, controls the middle of the field. He does a great job with it on offense. When you look at him on the defensive side of the ball, Kendall Ray's is special. He's a difference maker. He's on pretty much every watch list there is for a defensive player, for a lineman. Lombardi, Outland, everything else. He's a great talent. He is, I think, leading the league in tackles for a loss. He's second or third in the league in sacks. He is a talent. He's a difference maker inside. He's one of the reasons that they're having as much success as they are. But being as big and strong as they are up front, their linebackers run free. Their linebackers, they're third and fourth in the league in total tackles. Smallwood and Johnson, they're very aggressive with what they do. They're like second in tackles for a loss. I got through all these numbers out that have been kind of fed into me like a computer over the last 10 days. But overall, when you say it, their front seven is big and physical, and nobody's running the ball on them. West Virginia was able to do what they did. They threw the ball, 50 times in that game, and were able to hit some big plays. But that's the only thing, is some people have made some great plays at receiver. Outside of that, I don't see a lot of weaknesses in this defense. Special teams, I talked about how strong their kickers are and the job that they do there. Overall, I think it's a great challenge for us as a football team. Walking into Connecticut on the road, I know all the same things. We haven't had a lot of success up there. I've heard all the reasons why we can't go up there and win. What we have to do is focus on what we have to do to get better and improve. I continually say we're a work in progress. I think we've made some strides here in the first 5 games of the season from where we were a year ago, but we're certainly not where we want to be, and we've got to continue to get better. So looking forward to this week, and I think the players are really excited to get back into a game mode. I think they're tired of hitting each other, kind of like at the end of camp. What questions can I